Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Fixing the x/Twitter API rate limit exceeded error, a comprehensive guide. The rate limit exceeded error, often HTTP 429 or similar, when using the x/Twitter API is a common frustration for developers. It means you've made too many requests to the API within a specific time frame, and x/Twitter is temporarily blocking you to protect their infrastructure and ensure fair usage for all users. Understanding the rate limits, identifying the cause of the exceeding, and implementing effective mitigation strategies are crucial to avoiding this error and maintaining a smooth API integration. This tutorial will provide a detailed guide to understanding, diagnosing, and resolving rate limit issues when working with the x/Twitter API, complete with code examples in Python. Understanding x/Twitter API rate limits. The first step is to deeply understand the rate limits imposed by the x/Twitter API. These limits vary based on several factors. *API endpoint * different endpoints have different limits. For example, searching for tweets might have a different limit than posting tweets. *authentication method * oauth 1.0 a user context, traditional app auth, and oauth 2.0 app only, bearer token, can have vastly different rate limits. Paid tiers like X Premium API access usually offer higher limits. *subscription tier * applicable to X Premium and Enterprise plans, your subscription tier directly dictates your rate limits. Higher tiers come with increased capacity. *timeframe * rate limits are defined within specific time windows, example requests per 15 minutes, requests per hour, requests per day. *user versus app context * rate limits can apply on a per user basis, if you're making requests on behalf of individual users, or on a per app basis, using an app-only bearer token. Where to find rate limit information *. Official x/Twitter API documentation *. The most reliable source is the official x/Twitter API documentation. It details the limits for each endpoint, authentication type, and subscription tier, if applicable. Regularly check the documentation for updates, as rate limits can change. Response headers * the x/Twitter API returns response headers with information about your current rate limit status. Key headers to look for include *x rate limit, the total number of requests allowed within the current window. *x rate limit remaining, the number of requests you have remaining in the current window. *x rate limit reset, the Unix timestamp, seconds since epoch, when the rate limit will reset. 2. Diagnosing the rate limit exceeded error. Before implementing solutions, you need to pinpoint why you're exceeding the rate limit. Here's a systematic approach. 1. Examine error logs * your application's error logs should provide details about the specific endpoint that triggered the error, the HTTP status code, usually 429, and any associated error messages from the x/Twitter API. 2. Monitor API usage * implement logging or monitoring to track the number of requests your application is making to each x/Twitter API endpoint over time. This will help you identify patterns and potential bottlenecks. 3. Check response headers * inspect the X rate limit - headers in the API responses to understand your current rate limit status. You can use tools like curl, Postman, or your programming language's HTTP client to retrieve and inspect these headers. 4. Review your code * carefully review your code to identify any areas where you might be making unnecessary or redundant API calls. Look for loops that make requests without proper throttling or caching. 5. Consider the scale *. Think about the scale of your application. If you're dealing with a large number of users or processing a significant amount of data, you're more likely to hit rate limits. Example, checking rate limit headers with Python, using the requests library. 3. Solutions and mitigation strategies. Once you've identified the cause of the rate limit issue, you can implement several strategies to mitigate it. 1. Implement throttling/rate limiting on your end *. Purpose * control the number of API requests your application makes to prevent exceeding the x/Twitter API limits. How * implement a delay between API calls. The delay duration depends on your determined rate limit and your desired throughput. 2. Implement exponential backoff with jitter *. Purpose * handle temporary rate limits more gracefully. If you hit a rate limit, wait longer before retrying. Jitter adds a small random variation to the wait time to avoid a coordinated retry storm. How * use a loop to retry API calls, increasing the delay exponentially after each failure. Include random jitter. 3. Caching API responses *. Purpose * avoid making the same API requests repeatedly by storing and reusing previous responses. This dramatically reduces your API usage. How * implement a caching mechanism, in memory, file-based, or using a database like Redis or MEMC8, to store API responses based on their parameters. Set an appropriate expiration time for the cached data. Be careful about data freshness needs. Considerations cache invalidation determine how long data should be cached. Stale data can lead to incorrect or outdated information. Use time to live, TTL, settings for your cache entries. Cache keys create unique cache keys based on the API endpoint and the specific parameters used in the request, example query string, user ID. Storage choose a caching solution that suits your application's needs and scale. In-memory caches are fast but volatile, databases provide persistence. 4. Optimize API queries Purpose reduce the number of requests by retrieving only the necessary data. How use the fields, or similar parameter depending on the API endpoint, to specify which fields you need in the response. Avoid requesting unnecessary data. 5. Batch requests, if supported. Purpose combine multiple requests into a single API call, reducing the overall number of requests. How some x/Twitter API endpoints support batch processing. Check the documentation to see if batching is available for the endpoints you're using. If available, format your data into the appropriate structure for batch requests. Note x/Twitter API v2 doesn't heavily support batch operations across different resources as it used to. The closest is the ability to fetch multiple tweets by IDs in one request. However, this is very resource specific. Check if it's suitable for your use case. 6. Use webhooks, if available. Purpose instead of constantly polling the API for updates, receive real-time notifications when events occur. This significantly reduces the need for frequent API requests. How if the x/Twitter API offers webhook support for the events you're interested in, register a webhook URL to receive notifications. Note webhooks are typically more complex to set up, requiring a publicly accessible endpoint to receive the notifications. x/Twitter's API has evolved, and webhook support depends on the specific services you are using. Check the latest documentation for supported webhooks. 7. Prioritize critical requests asterisk. Asterisk purpose asterisk if you have multiple types of API requests, prioritize the most important ones. If you're close to hitting the rate limit, delay or skip less critical requests. Asterisk how asterisk implement a priority queue or similar mechanism to manage API requests. Give higher priority to requests that are essential for your application's core functionality. 8. Consider X Premium, formerly Twitter Blue, or Enterprise Access asterisk. Asterisk purpose asterisk obtain higher rate limits by subscribing to a paid plan. Asterisk how asterisk upgrade your X/Twitter developer account to a X Premium or Enterprise tier. This typically involves a monthly subscription fee, but it unlocks significantly higher rate limits. Consider this if you are scaling your application. Asterisk important asterisk carefully evaluate the cost-benefit of a paid plan. Ensure that the increased rate limits justify the subscription fee. Understand the specifics of each tier. 9. Use multiple API keys, carefully. Asterisk purpose asterisk increase your overall rate limit by distributing API requests across multiple API keys. Asterisk how asterisk create multiple X/Twitter developer accounts and obtain API keys for each account. Distribute your API requests across these keys, being mindful of the terms of service. Asterisk warning asterisk X/Twitter's terms of service may prohibit or restrict the use of multiple API keys in certain ways, especially those trying to bypass rate limits. Carefully review the terms before implementing this strategy. It's often a better approach to properly throttle and optimize requests or upgrade to a paid tier. Misuse of multiple API keys could lead to your accounts being suspended. 10. Contact X/Twitter support, if necessary. Asterisk purpose asterisk if you're still experiencing rate limit issues after implementing the above strategies, or if you believe there's an error in the rate limit configuration, contact X/Twitter's developer support team. Asterisk how asterisk submit a support ticket through the X/Twitter developer portal, providing detailed information about your application, your API usage patterns, and the specific errors you're encountering. Be prepared to explain why your API usage justifies higher limits if that is your request. 4. Best practices and general tips. Asterisk read the documentation asterisk thoroughly read and understand the X/Twitter API documentation, including the rate limit policies. This is the most important step. Asterisk handle errors gracefully asterisk implement robust error handling in your code to gracefully handle rate limit errors and other API related issues. Asterisk be a good API citizen asterisk respect the X/Twitter API's terms of service and rate limits. Avoid making unnecessary or abusive requests. Asterisk monitor your application asterisk continuously monitor your application's API usage to identify potential rate limit issues early on. Asterisk keep your libraries up to date asterisk use the latest versions of the X/Twitter API libraries to ensure you have the most up-to-date features and bug fixes. V. Common mistakes to avoid. Asterisk ignoring rate limit headers asterisk failing to check and act upon the X rate limit dash asterisk headers in API responses. Asterisk looping without throttling asterisk making API requests within loops without implementing any form of throttling. Asterisk excessive polling asterisk constantly polling the API for updates when webhooks or other real-time mechanisms are available. Asterisk requesting unnecessary data asterisk retrieving more data than you actually need. Asterisk incorrect authentication asterisk using the wrong authentication method or providing invalid credentials. Asterisk assuming static rate limits asterisk rate limits can change. Always be prepared to adapt your code and strategies to new limits. By understanding the X/Twitter API rate limits, diagnosing the causes of rate limit errors, and implementing the appropriate mitigation strategies, you can build a reliable and efficient application that interacts with the X/Twitter API without being blocked. Remember to prioritize optimization, caching, and respectful API usage. Good luck.